So, of course, folks, the Championship is back, and of course, Rovers are back, and they were back with a bang on the weekend up against Bristol City with a comfortable 3-1 win. And guess what? If we do the same this weekend against the Ticks, we could be in the playoffs. That's right, folks, back once again with another match preview, this time looking forward to the mighty... That's right, folks, back once again with another match preview. That's right, folks, back once again with another match preview. This time looking forward to Wigan Athletic up against Blackburn Rovers at the DW. And we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button. Keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, world football related. We're going to all here under one roofski. That's right, boys and girls. Now... woo! What a way to start the reboot, should we say, the Championship reboot last week with the comfortable win against Bristol City. But if we could do it again, yes, top 6 beckons. But of course, we've got to hope for other things to go our way. So we're going to be talking about that in just a second, the Wigan game. But before then, a big shout out, yes, to the Dirty 10. That's right, the naughty boys and girls. That is the Patreons. That's right, Russell Frost, Cody Cahoe, Tom Clark, Tom Beresford, the legend, John Spurn, Aztec Marky B Mark, No Code Drinker, Daniel Schmeller, and of course Bianca Muller, and a returning LG and Cal. So give them all a round of applause for supporting the channel in another way. And you could join the illustrious gang yourselves by plumping in the old description, checking out patreon.com/Roverseas to kind of give this channel a bit of a boost. We're trying to get to the Dirty Dozen. The Dirty Dozen. That will be absolute bits. If you want to check that out, there's going to be new perks and privileges over the summer. We're going to revamp the old Google Flip later. But until then, boys, let's talk about this weekend. So that's right, folks, it's going to take place right here at the fantastic Turd House. That is the DW Stadium over in Wigan. Yep, of course. Wigan, where are you? Where are you, Wigan? Are you there? There you are, Wigan. Yes, they are. Of course, they are managed by, of course, Paul Cock, the Scouser. Yeah, the troublemaking Turd House. The Turdmeister extraordinaire, Paul Cock. That's right, man. Taking place on 27th of June at the DW. The danger man, for me, in my eyes, is Sam Morsey. Of course, he pretty much... nearly ended Dakarooni's career, ripping his leg off over at Christmas time, Boxing Day, whenever it was. When was it? I don't know. But yeah. So the record against Rovers is 29 matches. They've actually won 7 of them, drawn 7, and they've lost 15 against us last season. They did spank us at the DW 3-1. We also got a bit of a redo. Ewood Park beating them 3-0. And earlier this season, it did end at all square 0-0. It smells like a draw already for me. So 27th of June, mark it in your calendars, the redo date. So let's take a look at it then, shall we? The tail of the tape between the two sides. Of course, goals per game on average. Wigan picking up 1.1 goal per game. Rovers picking up 1.4. Rovers also dominate possession with a 50.9% on average, with Wigan at 48.1. Pass accuracy, Rovers oust them as well, 74.9 compared to Wigan's 72. Shots per game, Wigan oust Rovers on this one, 11.6 shots per game compared to our 11.4. They also throw in more tackles, 16.7 compared to our 14.7. They also have more dribbles, 8.4 to our 7.3. They've also got a dirty discipline, 72 yellows, 4 reds compared to our 60 yellows, and 2 reds. The stats for me coming into this, of course, the most goals for Wigan this season is coming from a centre-back, Che Dunkley. I don't think he's involved. I think he's out for the season, so he won't be there. Kiefer Moore's got himself 6. Jamal Lowe's got 4. Pilkington's got 3. He did add 1 last time around. As for the discipline, Morsey's got himself 11 yellows. Burns got 8. Williams got 8. And Kipling's got 7. As for the reds, Dunkley's got himself 2. Williams got 1. And Kipling's got himself 1 as well. As for the goals for Rovers, of course, Armstrong added 1 to his tally. 13 for him this season. Dack's got 10. Gallagher's got 5. And Downing has 3. As for discipline, Darren Lenihan's got 12 yellows. Travis's got 9. Bennett's got 8. And Johnson has 4. As for the Reds, Dack and Buckley with red cards. Let's take a look at some stats and figures here for you before we take a look at the starting 11s. So on average, Wigan's shots received, 69% coming through the middle of the field, and then 56% within the 18-yard box, 34% long range efforts. As for shots they've taken, 64% through the middle as well, 20 down the left-hand side, 49% within the 18-yard box, 41% outside. That's quite a high figure for long range efforts. As for their positional stats, they like to come down the left-hand side, it looks like, but the majority sorry, 38% of all their attacking avenues coming down the left-hand side, 41% of the ball kept within the middle third. As for their goals, 20 through open play, 13 through set pieces, 4 OGs, 2 penalties and 1 counter-attack. Goals conceded, 28 through open play, 19 set pieces, 1 counter-attack, 1 penalty and 1 big fat OG. As for their visitors, and of course the mighty blue and white, or whatever shirt they're going to be wearing this weekend. Shots received from Rovers, 61% through the middle, 22% from the left-hand side, 51% within the 18-yard box, 43 long-range efforts. Rovers coming down the right-hand side the most, 39%, that's the nunmbers effect right there, and also 35 down the left, which is the Armstrong effect. As for the action zone, 41% within the middle third. Got the shots for Rovers, 69% through the middle, 16 through the left-hand side, 57 within the 18-yard box, and 37 are the long-range efforts. Goals coming through, 34 through open play, 13 through set pieces, 4 penalties and 4 OGs, 0 counter-attacks. As for goals received, 30 through open play, 8 penalties, 6 set pieces, 1 counter-attack and 1 OG. So the tail of the tape and all that kind of jazz, this is what we should be expecting on the weekend. Wigan's strengths, attacking through set pieces and creating chances through individual bits of skill. The weaknesses of finishing, scoring chances, protecting the league, defending against set pieces and avoiding fouling in dangerous areas. Wigan's style is playing with width, controlling the game in the opposition's half, attacking down the left, taking long shots, long balls, attempting crosses, often aggressive. Opponents play aggressively against them, and they also play the offside trap. Rovers' strengths are creating long shot opportunities, defending set pieces, creating chances using through balls, and finishing scoring chances. Weaknesses, avoiding the offside, protecting the lead. We also like to play out wide and also attacking through the middle. We do mix it up with our first 11 and also non-aggressive. So the forecast: Rovers straight offside often. Garbage. Anyway, this is the business that we all talk about. This starting 11s. Now, this is what I'm expecting. Of course, it could be completely different. There are some question marks about the Rovers side that we'll talk about in a minute. But anyway, for Wigan, Marshall between sticks. Robinson, of course, supposed to be in AC, but he's supposed to be in Milan right now on the old catwalk, but that didn't fall. That fell through. But I think a big money move is still in the cards for him this summer. So play your cards right, son. Time will be a good healer. Kipley, Fox, and Byrne on the right back. Morsey, there he is. There he is, the little turd head. Williams and Pilkington, of course. Rovers supporter by heart. He should be a Rover, really. Low, Dow, the youngster, the one of the hot prospect for Wigan, and Moore, also one of the goal scorers as well. So they've got some goals up there. As for Rovers, Walton between sticks, of course, ex Wigan goalkeeper was on there on loan for a season, 2 seasons, something like that. Reckitt is still at left back. I sat on the fence on this one. I thought about putting Bennett in there. I thought about putting Downing in there. I wasn't too sure what we'd do. Maybe even Bell and Williams could come back. Another one is Mulgrew. Mulgrew, of course, was at loan at Wigan earlier in the season. He could be part of this game. He was on the bench against Bristol City. He didn't get any game time, but you never know. He might get thrown in at the deep end on this one, and I'll be all for it, at least to see him in the Rover shirt for one more time. Anyway, Darren Lennon at centre back alongside Tonto Adebayo. That's of course already inked in concrete. Nyambi. I put Nyambi at right back. Bennett did an okay job as well. It's hard to find a spot for Bennett in this lineup. I tried to push him further forward. It just didn't look right. So Nyambi at right back, because he is the Namibian Cafu, and there's no other person to sit in that right back spot. He is gold, probably one of the best right backs in the next 2 or 3 years in this division anyway. Travis and Evans in the midfield, again, explains itself. We've got workhorse in Travis, we've got an experienced head in Evans, and he knows where the back of the net is as well. Of course, Downing and pulling the strings, Armstrong, Gallagher and Brereton, of course. The only change for this one was Holtby. I didn't think he was that effective. As much as I love him, I don't know. Of course, it's a great player to have within the books, and if we can get him on for another season at a good wage, then all for all be it. But really, I think this is the way it's at. Let's take a look at the last few games between this for both sides heading into this game. Of course, Wigan coming to the back of this. They are on a good bit of form. It's actually a scary bit of form. Without winning at least 5 games, they did beat Huddersfield last time out away from home. Before the lockdown, they drew with Luton. They beat West Brom. They beat Reading, and of course they beat Millwall. So they're on really good form. Rovers on not the greatest form. Just 1 win in the past 5 at least. Picking up a win against Bristol City last time out. They did lose to Derby. A bit of a spanking on that one. They drew with Swansea 2-2. Drew with Stoke 0-0. Also drew with Brentford 2-2. So there's some good results in that. But realistically, there are a couple of drop points there. The Stoke one. Okay, then let's take a look at Wigan's home form compared to Rovers' away form. Heading into this, of course, 2 wins in the past 6 for Wigan. It's not great. It's not terrible. But at home, I think you probably want to expect more points. But realistically, the past 5 games, even 1 defeat in the past 5, ain't too shabby. The same can be said for Rovers away form ain't too bad as well. 2 defeats in the past 6, and if you break it down a little bit further, it's 1 defeat in the past 5, and that was against Derby last time around. Picking up good results against Charlton, Sheffield Wednesday away, strong points against Borough and Brentford as well. Birmingham game was just sick and tired of playing them. Anyway, the last 6 encounters between two sides in all competitions sees 1 win for Wigan, 2 wins for Rovers, and 5. So the last 6 encounters between the two sides sees 1 win for Wigan, 2 wins for Rovers, and 3 draws between the two sides, including the draw last time around, which was at Ewood Park. And also the last time they played at Wigan was a 3-1 win for Wigan. Gary Roberts, James Ford, Callum McManaman on the score sheet for Wigan. Dan Byrne with a big fat OG. So yeah, it's not terrible form for Rovers heading into this. 1 win in 1 defeat in this past 6. That's in all competitions, in all grounds. If you take a look at the DW though, it's not pretty reading for Rovers. 3 wins for Wigan, 3 draws, and 0 wins for Rovers. So yes, it's not great overall. Would we take a point? I don't know. I think a point is a bit of a cop-out, really, especially with what's going on and no fans in the stands and all that. Maybe we can get them over the line this time around. So it's going to be tough, old boots. It's not going to be an easy game. In fact, there's no easy games in the Championship. And take a look at what's on the agenda for both these sides after this game. Of course, Stoke for Wigan. That'll be on Tuesday, the 30th of June. The game's coming thick and fast after this match. They take on Brentford then away for Wigan. Then they're going to take on QPR back at home, Barnsley away, and then Hull City away. So there's a couple of big games towards the foot of the table, especially if they are going to be in a relegation dogfight or not. So Rovers are taking on Barnsley next on Tuesday 30th. Then we're taking on Leeds on July 4th, Independence Day. Then it's Cardiff, another big game there. West Brom as well. So 3 real big monsters games to really see if we are realistically contenders for those playoff spots. And then Millwall as well on the 14th of July. Let's take a look at the current situation in the table. It looks just like this. West Brom lead the way on the top of the table with Leeds in 2nd spot on goal difference as well. Fulham in 3rd, Brentford 4th, Forest in 5th, and Preston are in that lucky 6th spot at the moment. It could all change as well this weekend. Luton, Barnsley and Hull City going down. This weekend, of course, Rovers come into this in 8th. Wigan come into this in 17th. There's a good bunch of points between the two sides, around about 12 points to separate the two sides heading into this one. The games that are going to take place this weekend, it's going to all kick off on Friday. Brentford taking on West Brom. It's a belter, that one. I'll be probably tuning in for that. Then, of course, Saturday, a whole hodgepodge of games, whole hodgepodge of different kickoffs. 10 a.m. for me, Wigan against Blackburn, of course, the game of the weekend. But there's also Preston against Cardiff. That's the playoff battler as well. Swansea against Luton. That's a relegation, a big one for them, and a 6-point playoff push for Swansea. Barnsley and Millwall, same could be said for that one. Derby against Reading. Reading really not really in much in it, but Derby a win for them, and they're right back in the thick of things. Stoke against Borough. That's a relegation 6-pointer right there. Birmingham against Hull is probably a defeat for Birmingham. They're going to get sucked right into that stuff. Leeds and Fulham, of course, battling for promotion right there, and Charlton against QPR. QPR probably one of the most boring middle of the road teams that have got nothing to fight for really. Into Sunday, Bristol City against Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday could make a great push if they are victorious over Bristol City. Bristol City also trying to get themselves back into the frame of mind of playoffs. And Forest up against relegation threat. It's all on the table, folks. All on the piston table. That's the table again, just in case you missed it. That's the fixtures again, just in case you missed it. This is the current situation with statistics wise across the board. Leeds still lead the way with possession on average. They're the leading team, 60.2% possession. Fulham are 58.5, Brentford are 55.6. Most aggressive teams is Charlton, QPR and Sheffield Wednesday. Wigan are there in 5th spot. Aerial duels won. Rovers are in 5th spot on this one, 52.6% of aerial duels won. Birmingham lead the way with 55.9. Shots per game, Leeds lead the way on this one, 16.4 shots per game. West Brom are second, 14.6. Brentford, Barnsley, Fulham make up the top 5. Pass accuracy, Fulham lead the way on this, 83.6% of all intended passes reaches there in target. Leeds, Brentford, West Brom and Derby lead the way. Goal scorers, still no Armstrong, but he's knocking on the door, folks. One more goal and he's up there. Mitrovic still leads the way, 23 goals. Watkins has got 22. Graben, Grant, Bowen no longer in the Championship. Woodrow and Bowen, Bamford, Fletcher and Jakovic make up the top 10. As for the assists, Eliason's got 12, Pereira's got 12, Swifty's got 10, Wallace has 9, Eze's got 8. And that, my friends, is it. Yes, and that is the match preview for Blackburn Rovers up against Wigan Athletic. Big win, or big weekend. Not a big win. We haven't won yet. But a big week for Blackburn Rovers this one. If we are to be victorious, we'll be sniffing. Well, that could be on. We could even be in the playoffs, boys and girls, which would be an absolute thrill to bits and an absolute a tremendous achievement for Mowbray. But, of course, it's a long way away to be happy about being in the playoffs, because I'd rather be there. I'd rather be in 7th spot all the way to the last day of the season and then just nick it right there. That's what I don't want to be in the playoffs now or on Sunday and then just fall out of it and just the season, because it's looking very, very rough. Realistically, we need to win the next 2 games, Wigan and then Barnsley, because then we've got some 3 real belting games that could really hurt us or could really define us as a team. We look good though against Bristol City, so hopefully we can take that mentality into this weekend up against Wigan. Wigan also look very, very good, and they've also been a good bit of form as well. So it's going to be a tough old boots for me. I'm hoping for a Rovers victory. I just don't know. I think we owe them. I think we owe them a bit of a spanking for what they've done to Dacky. And of course, that Paul Cock, he's always a smarmy little bugger. And he does need his smile wiped off his face. Hopefully, we can do it at the DW. Until then, though, again, fingers crossed, I'll be doing a watch along. I did say that last week, but things weren't set up. But now it's looking sexy as shit in here. And everything looks good to go. We're cooking with gas. And hopefully, we'll be able to do a watch along. And then hopefully, you can join me for that. Until then, though, boys, smash that thumbs up. Smash the subscribe. If you want to support the channel in another way, there is Patreon, patreon.com/Roverseas. Until then, though, out. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.